Hello everyone, JRDL96 here with a brand new reaction. As you could tell by the title, it's another game theory video. Never thought I would be saying that, right? The last game theory video we've seen was back in 2018 when MatPat made a theory on Markiplier and his little character universe that he has. And this is around the time when Wilfred Mother-Loving Warstache was the latest video. Now, MatPat decided to do a theory on, of all things, Unus Annus. Now, I don't know what the theory is. Like, to be honest, like, it's like, what is he, well, the title alone is a little, you know, interesting. What is he, what's Mark hiding? I don't know. He hides a lot of things. So I have no idea. I'm kind of curious. This kind of was interesting. I found the video. I'm like, oh, really? Really? He did a theory on Unus Annus? So I had to check it out. So I'm going to check it out right now. And let's just get right into the theory. So without further ado, let's react to this video, shall we?
It's a theory. It's a it's a theory. It's a theory.
Oh,
we live our lives taking each second for granted, but what if we knew how much
Whoa, of course, he's doing a parody of the Unus Annus intros.
Some sort of trans-dimensional toilet or something. Oh, here I go again! Oh, this motion is making me a little nauseous. I'm so sorry. Excuse me. Oh, definitely threw up a little bit in my mouth that time. I don't know who decided to put that spiral back there, but it was not a good idea. I am so sorry. I had deep, insightful things to say about death and existence and meaning, but I can't do it. Please kill me. Please kill me right now. How much time do I have left? Please check the clock.
Oh, 4:20:69.
Oh, crap.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, the show trapped in the never-ending time loop that is YouTube. So make sure you smash that subscribe button so you don't miss this limited time opportunity. Today, I want to talk about a channel with a much shorter lifespan, Unus Annus, meaning one butthole in Latin. Unus Annus is... Why does that not sound right? Oh, sorry. Typo. Critical typo. Two N's in that anus. I see. Okay. Unus Annus, meaning 1 year in Latin. Much better. Unus Annus is a YouTube experiment spearheaded by Mark Fishbach, aka Markiplier, and Ethan Nestor, aka CrankGamePlays. Now, as the name implies, the channel will only last for 1 year, and after that, it's gone.
All we'll have
is the memories
that we make
along the way.
And I don't mean that they're not making new videos or anything. I mean they are taking it all down.
They're deleting the channel.
Down, we will be
deleting this channel. Every single video on it.
Right now, as I'm writing and recording this, the channel is actually slated to die in exactly 1 month. November 15th, 2020. It's my birthday, actually. 1 year closer to death.
Oh, Christ.
Speaking of permanently jumping off the mortal coil, it's no secret that this channel is going to be thematically linked to the impermanence of life and the inevitability of death, which is why its motto, Memento Mori, translates to Remember, You Will Die. But will the channel actually die? You see, true to most of Markiplier's other projects, there's an underlying story inside of Unus Annus. Sure, to 99.99% of viewers, this is a channel full of hot chip challenges, slapping raw chickens until they're cooked, and pea saunas. You heard that right, pea saunas. Steaming their own urine so they can sit and marinate in it.
What does it mean when it's
Oh my
more
God.
I don't know what that means.
I'm not even up to that yet.
Yes, all the scientists watching this.
But peer through the pea stream, Steam, and you'll see that someone is fighting back against the death of this channel. That there are other forces at play in these otherwise normal-looking vlogs. Something that is much more serious and much more sinister than you would expect out of this sort of channel. And with less than a month before the day of reckoning, we have to talk about it now, or else, like the channel, our chance will have passed us by.
It's not too late to join us on this journey. You can still subscribe. You can still like the videos, but sooner than you think.
Oh my god, this is so cursed.
Oh, and by the way, Mark, your pee is probably foamy because you had a full bladder and the stream just caught a lot of air bubbles in there. Or you just have extra protein in your urine right now. Just watch out because too much foam is going to be usually tied to kidney disease. Also, I am not a doctor, but as a concerned friend of yours, stop breaking your nose. Now, the first thing to tell you is that this is not Mark and Ethan in these videos. I know that might be confusing because, you know, certainly looks like Mark shaving his dog Chica and Ethan failing to do a Russian accent.
Welcome to Russia.
But in reality, throughout the series, they're embodying characters other than themselves. Ethan is Unus in black, and Mark is Annus in white. There's a lot of evidence of this throughout the series via clips like this one.
I've done bad things. Annus has done bad things.
I've done things you wouldn't even imagine.
You have made Annus extremely angry.
Or here, where while playing games in the dark, the score graphic suddenly changes from soft boy and masochist to their character names of Unus and Annus. But really, all you need to do to prove this is to look at the description of any of their videos.
Yeah.
Annus links to Markiplier, Unus links to CrankGamePlays. These are characters, which is why at the end of this channel's life, they'll canonically be able to die, while Mark, Ethan, and their various other personalities like Darkiplier and Blank Gameplays live on.
Blank is not even canon, like really, like
and the meaning, lack thereof, of love.
Blank isn't
These
really a
moments
character
often
that
take on a
Ethan
different
would like to
visual style
do.
from everything else in the world that surrounds them. Usually shot in a more cinematic style, using a different aspect ratio, and usually with a higher quality camera.
I didn't feel a thing. It's empty void inside this club.
Wow.
And inside me.
Even in the middle of lighthearted videos like painting Mark's body in gold to make him the 8th wonder of the world, can sucker punch you with a sudden dose of reality.
Do you think that this is all just a vain attempt to try to last longer than we should?
Is anything that we do, does that have a point? In the end, it'll all be dust.
Also, internet's blowing up about Felix's new bod, but we're all sleeping on Markiplier here? Come on, internet. Look at that sweet piece of candy. But lately, there's been an added element to many of these scenes. During the Camp Unus Annus series of videos, we start to see Unus and Annus dying multiple times. The most obvious example is in the video
Mark's been icy.
Except don't. Mark, looking to commit a sin great enough to summon fire from Satan himself, decides to kill Ethan. As he stares at his knife, Ethan's
I did see that.
stares in through the window. Just as Mark is in the process of killing Ethan, Unus walks away, and we cut to Mark and Ethan enjoying s'mores.
I wonder how they filmed that.
Although Mark claims that he didn't have to do anything unsavory or sinful to get the fire going, the final shot of the video features Markiplier with blood dripping down his chin. Now, that one scene alone was so alarming that it caused a number of GT fans to immediately rush to our subreddit to start theorizing. But the thing is, these two characters have died many, many more times prior to that video. Just 3 videos earlier, Mark suffocates when Ethan abandons him. And 2 videos before that, they both die in a bear attack. And before all of that, there are these repeated scenes of horror and death. So what is going on here? Are they dying? Are they not? Are these imaginary scenes? Well, to understand that, it's gonna take some decoding. Watch this. Did you see it? Watch it again. There's a hidden code there. Yep, in the black screen at the end of the video, if you look really, really closely, you'll see that there's a faint outline of some sheet music hidden in the darkness. Crank up the brightness, and you see this.
Oh my god.
Luckily, the same code appears in another video, Puberty Simulator. But the point is this, by the time
what a fucking title for the video.
365 videos, and hidden throughout those 365 videos are small little codes like this, barely perceptible. I mean, that is a huge amount of content
musical notes,
then. Luckily, the Unus Annus Lore Hunters Discord has kept meticulous notes over it all, which, without them, I would have never been able to gather as much evidence as I've had for what's going on in these videos. So thank you guys so much for that. You guys are all
you have so much time on your hands,
you guys. These codes sprinkled throughout the videos that we're able to learn the true story of this channel. Someone or something is trying to stop the clock. In the video, our fans try to scare us with their homemade creepypasta. There's a very, very brief flash of the following hidden in some static. What will happen if the clock stops? Could I find a way to keep it going? This sets up the idea that someone is trying to prevent Unus Annus from reaching its conclusion. From there, more hidden codes tell us about this person's struggles and progress. A month later, in a video all about making food for their dogs, the video ends with this graphic, and the bottom suddenly switches from a joke to yet another code. this one reading, I couldn't stop it. Will I die with the machine? 3 days later, we see this individual having some success. In Does This Magnetic Skincare Routine Really Work? We see this code hidden in the editing program that's shown on screen. With so many Y's and Z's, it has to be hidden in Polish, right? Or maybe Russian? No, it's just another simple letter substitution that translates to free, or so I thought. Another layer, but still the clock. So whoever or whatever is sending these messages, they're trapped in some sort of machine, hence them worrying about dying with the machine.
Like a computer simulation or some shit?
Security or layers of reality that have to be peeled back in order for them to finally escape. There's also some evidence in these hidden codes to support the idea that both Unus and Annus have died multiple times throughout this series, and heck, maybe even before the series was launched, only for them to have been replaced or rebooted. Going back to that sheet music puzzle I showed you before, each measure of music is its own word, and the different notes are all representing different letters. So translating the whole thing out, you get the following, quote, "Happy birthday to the beast, or to the body that once housed me, a transfer made for pity's sake, tricked into the machine, as he has my cake." Again, we see a reference to this machine. Whatever this is, they were lured in and now they're trapped. It's also worth noting this line about the body that once housed me. It suggests that there's a separation of this person's mind from their physical form. Again, suggesting some sort of transfer of their consciousness into a machine, say a computer. A transfer made for pity's sake. It could just be there to sound cool or sound poetic, or it could actually be saying that their consciousness is in the machine because their body was no longer fit to physically survive. Like, say you were dying. To preserve your life, your consciousness gets passed into a machine while the body wastes away. That would be a good example of something done for pity's sake. And again, if you exist in a machine, there are any number of copies of you, which would be why we'd be able to see Mark and Ethan die multiple times, but then they're back in the next upload. There are two other secret codes that I should mention briefly, but don't have a lot to say about. In Ethan roasts Mark for 15 minutes straight, we have this, quote, "And in the comments, you will read the word. You soon will see our wise controlling pawns who type our deeds. That is Discord, not FaceTime. Within this truth, a question posed. Could the peace sauna be ever close?" Now, this wasn't so much about lore as it was alluding to the fact that fans really wanted that peace sauna episode to happen, and through their comments, they made that upload happen just a week later. Hence that cryptic message about the peace sauna being ever close, and the comments basically willing it into existence. The same is true for this other hidden code in Learning to Cry on Command. Here, there's a cipher that translates to, "The long wait ends with 24 more for a path of destiny chosen before." And yes, this is yet another reference to the peace sauna episode. 24 hours after this upload, that video came out. Hence, the wait ending with 24, and the destiny chosen before was, again, the comments choosing this for them to do. But not all the codes are just about bathing in your own urine. I've saved what's perhaps the most important for last.
Why would they do that?
If you go frame by frame through the ending of Learning to Use the Force, you'll see words popping up around the screen. Kraz uv ovnavsom aukvum saidovko. One final simple substitution cipher giving us the message, wait, no, something is wrong. He knows. And it's here that things really come together, friends. You see, this coded message saying he knows confirms that there's someone controlling all of this. That there's some all-powerful entity dictating the lives of whoever is trapped in the machine, be it Unus and Annus or someone else. Look at this cinematic scene from their grip strength competition. It's from a mysterious third-party perspective watching the challenge take place. It's someone watching what is happening to these characters, like they're controlling what's going on. But here's the kicker. I think that we get to see whatever this machine is. In Learning to Use the Force again, we're presented with brief clips of a CGI room with a computer on a desk. The walls covered in a black and white spiral pattern that defines the Unus Annus channel. We also see a lone shadowy figure looking out the window. I think this is the person who's in control, and that this computer room is his command center, his control desk. So with all of that being said, here's what I think's going on. I think both Unus and Annus are in a computer simulation of real life.
Oh wow! It's so funny. I mentioned
which is why
computer simulation.
Die when the channel's deleted. But until then, they exist in a simulation that can be repeated infinitely. This would explain both their repeated deaths as well as those numerous layers that one has to work through in order to escape. It's also how past versions of Unus and Annus can visit key moments from their journey, like in the How to Build a Fire episode. The one ultimately in control, though, is Death. He's the one watching from a distance. He's the one operating things from his little computer room, and he's the one who'll be the final entity to push delete on this big experiment. As for who's trying to stop the clock, I don't think it's either Unus or Annus, but rather their editor, Mark, who, funny enough, used to be our editor and worked closely with me
Oh,
on
really?
the Connected Universe episode that we did about a year ago. Anyway,
wow.
why do I think it would be him trying to escape? Well, for one thing, he's a canonical character in all of this. Everyone from the editors to Amy are a part of the Unus Annus simulation.
Amy.
They're part of the canon, so any of them could realize that they're trapped. 2, all the videos the Discord has found with coded messages so far have been ones edited by him. Plus, a lot of those hidden messages have been a part of an edited piece of the video. For instance, the graphics package where they make food for their dogs, or the view of the editing software from the magnetic skincare routine video. And maybe most importantly, number 3, his Twitter handle outright says that he's working from the inside to try and stop the clock. But here's the thing, whoever is trying to stop this, the clock will not stop. It would defeat the purpose of the channel. Death is inevitable. People, places, pets, they all have a limited time here on Earth. We'd love to extend that time. We'll fight to extend that time. But in the end, we all have to go. That doesn't mean that we completely vanish from the world, though. It just means that we become part of something else. A community, a collective memory, an echo of our reality. And no matter how small or how insignificant a life, they all matter. And they all live on in some way. Or, you know, maybe I'm doing exactly what Mark accuses me of.
They try to discern some weird cryptic meaning behind what we do. People are just overcomplicating the idea behind it. They're assuming that we put more thought into it at the beginning than we did.
Okay, I'm not the one throwing coded sheet music into the final seconds of your dog grooming video. Just saying. It's all just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. Like I just said, life is short, and there are so many darn good books in the world to read. So many people fighting to crystallize their mortality through the written word. So many Game of Thrones books. That's it. There's just a lot of Game of Thrones books, and they're all so long. They're so long! Which is why I use our sponsor for today's episode, Audible. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks.
Oh, there's Michael
It's fast and
K.
easy to listen to everything from audiobooks to podcasts to guided meditations and more. And with thousands of titles to choose from, Audible can help get your
Ready Player
smooth
One, I see.
quarantine brain wrinkled again like a Shar-Pei in no time. Unus Annus is all about making the most of your time, and Audible actually helps me make the most of my wasted time in the car by making it more productive and more fun as I learn and listen to audiobooks. Right now, in an effort to gear up for Halloween, I've actually been revisiting some of my favorite spooky stories from when I was a kid. Yes, scary stories to tell in the dark is just as scary now as it was back then. Looking at you, spider face lady.
Oh,
It's
God.
I even just say the words and it terrifies me. Somehow this story is actually creepier as an audiobook. It's like I'm sitting around a campfire with someone with a flashlight over their face telling me a spooky story, only I'm at home, cowering under my blanket, checks under the bed for monsters. So, you know, just like Campfire. Audible members like myself get access to 1 credit every month, good for any title in their premium catalog, and they get to keep it forever. So when Ollie's old enough that he can have the same spider-faced fueled night terrors that I had as a child,
don't do that to your
memories,
kid.
that'll be the day. Members also get full access to the Plus catalog, with thousands of select audiobooks, podcasts, Audible originals, and more. You can get started with a free 30-day trial right now at audible.com/MattPat. That's audible.com/MATPAT, or you can just text MattPat to 500-500 because that's the fastest way to do things when we're all living in a mobile universe. Or, you know, click the link in the top line of the description. It is the easiest way to do it. You don't have to spell anything. And one final thank you to Audible for sponsoring this episode. And as always, remember, it's all just a theory. A game theory. I'll see you all next week.
Alright. Now that was a pretty interesting theory about Unus Annus. Now I doubt, like, the one thing I doubt, like, is the whole thing about, like, oh, they're not gonna delete the channel. They probably will. They probably will, and it's sad. Because there are so many fucking hilarious videos that we have seen on Unus Annus. Right now, at the time we're recording this on October 30th, I just finished up to, I believe, when Mark was showing Ethan his talent at juggling, I think. I'm like up to 8. I think I just finished the April Fool's video, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. But man, do I have a long way to go when there's like over 2 weeks, or by the time you see this, probably a week left in this whole thing. There's so much I still gotta catch up on. I need to dedicate an entire day just to watch just nothing but Unus Annus. I really need to dedicate a whole day to that. To really, you know, like do like a final charge to the finish line so I can be caught up on all of it. Now, Ethan did mention, I think, on that one charity live stream that he was a part of, like him and a bunch of other YouTubers, he mentioned something about that they're going to do something big for the ending of Unus Annus. Now the question is, I have no idea what that will be. Granted, we all don't know. And again, I really don't know. But I like that whole idea of, again, going back to the theory, like I like the whole idea that it might be like a computer simulation and they're just, you know, these robotic beings, entities, these AIs that just happen to be simulating life. Like, you know, doing these random things, and no matter how many times they die, like you see, you know, at a few points, you know, Ethan snapping, quote unquote, snapping Mark's neck in the do-it-yourself chiropractor, or, you know, Mark shooting Ethan in the, you know, learning how to fight. Except, like, a bunch of other moments when you see them, you know, kill each other, kill one another. Again, I do not know. Again, I wonder what they're thinking. Like, what is Mark and Ethan thinking right now? Like, but it's weird with the codes, like all the codes of this weird poem with this weird musical note, you know, musical sheet that's put in very, 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 very faintly in the black screen, and you have to turn up the brightness to find it. It's a little ridiculous, and if you know, translate it, it's like some random poem. Like, really? But I don't know why, like, you know, I find it weird when MatPat mentioned, you know, like, once this channel dies, like, Mark and Ethan go back, Mark and Ethan and their characters can go back to what they used to do, like, you know, Markiplier and Blank Gameplays. Blank Gameplays isn't really something that big. Like, besides that one, you know, goofy appearance in April Goofs, and, you know, those occasional moment, you know, times when, you know, when he did the 5-year anniversary poster promotion, and the, you know, that one Q&A he did on Halloween in 2017. Besides those moments, Blank Gameplays isn't really a big alter ego that Ethan will be willing to do. Like, even someone asked him about it. Like, will you be willing to do more of that? You want to start trying to dig deep into that? And he said, it doesn't interest me whatsoever. He said that at like a Q&A he did on PAX last year. Someone asked him about that, and he said, I'm not really into that. It just doesn't really interest me that much. That's what, like, to get you the gist of it. So I doubt Ethan will be ever doing Blank Gameplays at any point, but Mark, obviously, we all know he's going to do something about that. I was kind of hoping that he would do a game theory on, like, MatPat. I was hoping he would do, like, a theory on a heist. But, again, I think it was self-explanatory anyway. When you really think about it. Like, you kind of get the gist, like, oh... And what I like about the heist, in particular, is that because of the box that we steal from the museum, it creates these alternate, you know, scenarios to happen. These alternate timelines, in a sense. That I love the fact that they give you a explanation to why there's these many, many endings And then there's this one ending that is technically the canon true ending to the whole thing, which is when you destroy the box, when you have, you know, crazy scientist Rosanna Pantino fucking destroy the box, erasing every single timeline and just restarting everybody from the beginning. That was it. I just love that. But again, I do not know what... I find the theory interesting, but it's kind of a little too far-fetched on the whole idea of, like, somebody's trying to stop the channel from going bye-bye. Like they try to play along with that. They're just trying to mess with our heads, and just because, you know, there are that 99% majority that doesn't want the channel to be deleted and everything because of all the funny and crazy things that they were able to do. And the fact that MatPat mentioned that Tampesana so many times in that video. Again, every time, like, I remember over the past year, anytime I get notifications for Unus Annus uploads, and I go, oh boy, what crazy dumb ideas did they come up with today? And then I see peace on it, and I'm like, oh, fucking hell. Man, you have really stooped to new lows, have you? Like, I don't know why they would think that's a great idea for a video. It's like they're really trying to push the boundaries of YouTube's, you know, community guidelines with these weird videos. And literally the very first video they do, which is with cooking with breakfast with, you know, pretty provocative toys, that was really pushing the boundaries of YouTube's, you know, guidelines. They really were trying to push how far can we get away with, how far can we go with YouTube's, you know, policies. And it's kind of ironic with Kappa. And you remember all that fiasco with Kappa and everything. That whole thing, like, you know, everybody was freaking out about it, but at the same time, it has affected some people. I'm not saying that it really hasn't affected anybody. But it just feels normal, honestly. It's like everybody freaks out about the most stupid things, like, you know, Article 13, and then freaking, what was that other, net neutrality, and, you know, Kappa, and then nothing really happens. Nothing major happens. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why I went down that road, but that's just something I do not want to get into because I just don't like talking about it too much. But just the fact that it really, you know, kind of popped into my head, and it made me, like, because the whole Kappa thing reminded me about the other stuff that people on YouTube are freaking out about. But again, I love I thought the theory was interesting, and again, I find it also really interesting going back to me, because I can't help but say that I like seeing people theorize about, you know, the stuff I do, like, you know, the cryptic stuff I do in my videos when it comes to my, you know, my universe, my character universe, and stuff like that. And when it comes to that, trying to come up with something cryptic to do is the most challenging thing, because I don't want it to be too blatantly obvious. I want it to be subtle, and I want it to be, you know, perfect subtlety. You get the gist. You get that little, ooh, what was that? Put that on the list of being sus mode. You know, stuff like that. Like, oh. And there are a few, I will say this, there are a few cryptic things that I have did in the past year that not a lot of people have discovered or found yet. there's just those, you know, ones that I'm surprised nobody has seen it or anything like that. I'm not gonna say which video it is. It's up for you to find out. But I love seeing people theorize about, oh, what's gonna happen? And I love that when, especially with Halloween, everybody was thinking J.R.D. and Xander are gonna show up together. It's like, that was not gonna happen. And I definitely was not gonna go down the stereotypical route that I was doing. I wanted to, you know, defy, you know, the expectations and be, you know, don't go down the cryptic route. You know what I mean? That was what I didn't want to do. I will say this. Originally, for the Halloween video, it was going to be another one of those mini ego short films at the end. I'm not going to say which one, but it was originally going to be that, but then I'm like, you know what? I've done huge ego things the last 2 Halloweens, and I'm not gonna fucking go down again a 3rd time. Because that's just too obvious, and it's just too predictable. So that's why I decided to, you know, axe that idea, you know, scrap that idea. So that's why the video kind of, to me, might have been a little disappointing to some people. I just have that bad, like, I'm recording this before the video even goes up, and I just have this bad feeling that a lot of people are going to be disappointed. But I did try at least to be like, you know what, to be fair, I'll throw a little bit of crypticness in there to kind of give you an idea, like to give you some, you know, things to theorize, like who was there actually, who was technically there? I don't know. Again, all I'm doing is just rambling, and it's a completely off topic of what this video was about, and people have probably gone and disliked the video anyways. But again, overall, the theory is an interesting one. I doubt that that's really the case. Like, the whole idea of them being in a computer simulation is kind of fascinating. Hence why that sometimes they end up killing each other. One of them gets killed at the end of some of the videos. I find that pretty fascinating, so it's no surprise. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being true. And who knows how it all will end? Who knows how this channel will end? How will they go down? How will this channel go down in a blaze of glory? How will it do it? We'll find out, I guess. And hopefully, I'll be all caught up by then. So anyways, enough rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Be sure to ring that bell to be part of Notification Squad. Be sure to check out my Instagram because I make collabs with Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, even myself. I also reenact the cosplays on there, so go check it out. Be sure to check out my Tumblr and my Discord in the description as well. So until next time, JRD96 signing out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!